A very good morning to all. Let us start the second session on heredity and evolution. So in our previous session, we understood what is heredity, how heredity brings about a change in variation, types of variation, somatic and gametic, what are acquired traits and what are inherited traits, and how variation or how reproduction is important in variation, how it brings about the changes in variation. We also discussed that there are so many important terminologies in heredity what we use. They are gene, DNA, allele, dominant, recessive, etc. Let us understand each of those important terms what we use in heredity. Let us first begin with DNA. We already discussed what is DNA in our previous class. DNA is the self-replicating material present in all living organisms as the main constituent of chromosome. It is the carrier of genetic information. So what I can tell here is our body is made up of DNA. So our whole body is made up of DNA. It's like a building. It has so many rooms for DNA. So it is a self-replicating material which is present in all living organisms. It is the carrier of genetic information which gets transferred from one generation to another or from a parent to a offspring. Next is gene. What is a gene? Gene is a part of a DNA. It is the segment of DNA which codes for particular character. Now, as I told you, our body is made up of DNA, right? So, let us understand our body is nothing but a building. So, we have a big building. So, what do we have in a building? We have rooms, right? Or let us assume instead of a building, I will just consider my body is nothing but a house, right? So, it is nothing but a DNA. It is a house. Now, what does house means? It will be one whole vacant space it will be? No, right? What do we have? We have a living room. We have a dining room. We have a puja room. Then we have a kitchen. Then we have a bathroom. Then we have a bedroom. That means we have segregated parts for each and everything in our house, right? We have separate part for living room, dining room, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, etc. Similarly, gene is a part of DNA. So, if I consider this house is a DNA, gene is a part of DNA which codes for a particular character. That means these all are genes. Which codes for a particular character. Now, what character? Now, for example, this living room, this is gene, this is gene. So, this house is DNA means I have different sectors, right? Each sector will tell us nothing but as a gene. That means living room is a gene. It is giving color of. It is giving color of my skin is one gene. Color of my hair, another gene, or I can say height, right? Then what you can talk about color of your eyes, whether you have a straight or a curly hair, type I will just write here. Example. So there are so many different genes, so many different sectors. So each sector, it is the segment of DNA which codes for a particular character. Now, we don't go and sleep in the kitchen, right? Or we don't go and eat our food in the bathroom, right? Example. That means we know where we have to eat our food, where we have to sleep, where we have to relax. Similarly here, each sector when we talk about which codes for a particular character. Each gene has a particular character. This gene will only code for color of the skin. It will not interfere with any other gene. This gene is only responsible for color of your hair, height, eyes, type of hair, etc. So, understood the definition? It is the segment of DNA which codes for a particular character. Next, we move on to allele. What is allele? Complementary form of gene. it can have two or more complementary forms. Now complementary form of gene means, now for example, let me take color of the skin. Now we understood this is a gene, so this is a living room, right? So in living room, what all we have? In living room we have sofa, we have chairs and all to sit, right? Similarly in kitchen what we have? We have kitchen utensils. That means each and every room has its own segment what it has to have. Now a living room cannot have a kitchen utensils with that. Similarly here, so in DNA, each code is nothing but a gene. Now each gene will again have its complementary factor. What are those? Now when I talk about color of the skin, I can say there are two. One is dark complexion, one is fair complexion, or okay, let me take three, wheatish complexion. Right? So I think this is not visible here. I will just write this side. So when we talk about color of the skin, we have fair complexion, we have wheatish complexion, we have dark complexion. That means complementary form of a gene, it can have two or more complementary forms. Color of the skin is there. Color, it has again bifurcation. Which color? Either your fair skin, either your fair, either your wheatish, or either your dark. Two or more complementary forms. Now again, color of the hair when we talk about, either it is a brown hair, grey hair, white hair, a blonde hair, depends, right? Height when we talk about, either you're tall, or you're short, or you're moderate, again depends here. So it is two or more complementary forms, that is called a allele. So if I talk about what is the allele of height, height has two alleles, one is tall, one is short. Now what is the allele of my eye color, pigment, which color it has? It can be black, it can be brown, right? So these are alleles what we talk about. What is the allele of the hair? It is either straight, two types, either it is straight hair or a curly hair. So two types of alleles. So gene will again have its complementary forms. We call that as a allele, right? Genotype. Now this is very much important to understand first. Now what is a genotype? Genetic composition of an individual. Now when I talk about the genetic composition of an individual, let me again start. DNA, so which has different groups. Let me choose these three. So this is a gene, this is a gene, and this is a gene. Now this gene is for color, this gene is for height, this gene is for eyes width. Let us just consider, right? Genetic composition of an individual. Now color is the genetic composition of the individual. Which color? Now here we talk about either it is a color of our skin, either it is fair, dark or wheatish. Height, when we talk about height gene, we talk about tall or short. When we talk about eyes color, it is either black or brown. That is genotype. Genetic composition. Genetic composition means what are the compositions what we are looking for them. To understand this, we have to also understand phenotype, then this will go hand in hand. What is phenotype? Expression of the genotype, which is an observable, or measurable characteristics. Now when I talk about genotype, now my genotype is, for example, if I consider, it is a, okay, let me take the height, okay. I will consider what is the genetic information or what is the genotype in me, it is a height. So height if I take, either it should be tall or short. Now what is expressed gene in my type? Expressed gene in my type is tall gene, okay. Now when we talk about your siblings, now one sibling is tall and one sibling is short. But what gene is there in the sibling? Height gene is there in your siblings. But which gene is expressed? So in one sibling, tall gene is expressed and in another gene, short gene is expressed. In simple terms, phenotype is the physical appearance. Genotype is a genetic information. Now you have genetic information, that is why you have a color of your skin. Now, what is the color of your skin? That is phenotype, right? Phenotype, genotype gives you the color. Phenotypes gives the physical appearance. So, did you understand the point? Genetic composition is the genotype. What genetic composition? That can be height, color, etc. What is phenotype? Which genotype is expressed? Either tall is expressed or short is expressed. Physically, what is appearing to you? That is a phenotype, and what is composition? That is a genotype. So, there are few more factors. So, we understood now what is DNA, what is a gene, what is a allele, genotype and phenotype. We will understand few more now. The next few important terms, that is dominant allele. An allele whose phenotype is expressed. Let us first understand both and together I will explain your dominant allele and allele whose phenotype is expressed, recessive allele and allele in which or a allele which gets suppressed in the presence of dominant allele, right? Definition wise, you don't understand anything. Let me give you an example. So, now when we talk about a allele, or okay, let me talk about a gene, right? Now, what type of gene I am talking about? I am talking about a gene of height. The code factor or the code character of the gene is here height. Now, this gene, when we talk about height, what is this? This is a genotype, correct? So, what are the two alleles of height? One is tall and one is short. Now, what have I written? I have written capital T and small t. You'll understand that. So, let me write here. One is tall. Okay, I will write here short first. Okay, so these are the two alleles of gene. That is two alleles of height, tall and short. Now, what is phenotype? Which is getting expressed, physical appearance. Physical appearance is tall or short, which gets expressed in an individual, that is called as a phenotype, right? Now, let me come to this dominant allele and recessive allele. So, basically what characters we get from our parents, that is from one parents to offspring, we actually have this allele or chromosomes. When we always talk about, they always appear in pair. You again study this in detail in the same chapter. So, what type of allele we have now from our parents, from my mother and father? I have a allele of height, that is nothing but tall and short, right? Two alleles I have. But what is getting expressed in me? Tall is getting expressed in me. That means if we have two siblings, what is happening here is one gene, one allele is getting expressed. What about short? Short is not getting expressed. That means short is being suppressed, right? Tall is being expressed. That means here now tall is a dominant gene or a dominant allele and short is a recessive allele. So, whenever we get a gene, a pair of chromosomes when we talk about, so the alleles what are representing, so genotype is what here? Tall and short. Appearance is what? Phenotype. What is physically appearing to us? That is a dominant allele or a dominant gene we see. Now here, tall is dominant. Tall is dominant means it is suppressing the short one. Short one is not getting expressed. Now in siblings, one sibling is tall and another sibling is short. That means what is happening here? Tall gene is dominant. Okay, let me take this is first sibling and this is second sibling. First sibling is tall and second sibling is short, right? Here what is happening? Tall gene is being dominant, that is why it got expressed. Short is recessive, right? In another sibling who is short, that means short is being expressed, that is dominant. Tall is not expressed and that is recessive. Did you understand the meaning here? Whichever gene get expressed physically, phenotypically, that is called as a dominant allele, and which will get suppressed by a dominant allele is called as a recessive allele. We always express dominant allele by a capital letter, and we always represent recessive allele by a small letter. That is why when I talk about tall and short, so in case if this is dominant and this is recessive, I write this as T and T. That is, capital T is representing dominant and small t is representing recessive. So let's understand the definition once again here. An allele whose phenotype is expressed, which is expressed in a capital letter. Recessive allele, an allele which gets suppressed in the presence of dominant allele. You have the whole chapter where we study much in detail about dominant and recessive. So here we have to understand the concept of dominant and recessive. Now again, we understood what is allele there. All are interrelated, one after the other. So the next here is hybrid. An individual having two different alleles for same trait. An individual having two different alleles for a same trait. For example, now alleles, you know what they are. I take an example of a pea plant. Green pea is what we talk about. An individual is a pea plant here, having two different alleles of a same trait. Now, two different allele means two different types. So, if I talk about a green pea plant, it can be green color or it can be yellow color. That means I am representing two different alleles, two different types, color types of the same trait. Apart from that, this is one allele because this is an allele for color, right? So next, for the pea plant only, I represent structure or how it looks. What we can say, one is round in shape and another is wrinkled. That means the pea plant what I am having have two characters, two different types of allele. What are those alleles? One is the color and another is the shape or how it looks. So it is green color or it is a yellow color. Color is the allele here. Next is the shape is the allele. That is nothing but the pea plant. The pea can be of round shape or a wrinkled shape. That means an individual having two different alleles for same trait. Okay, that's what we study. Monohybrid cross. We understand what is cross later. Let us first understand what do you mean by a monohybrid. And hybridization cross in which inheritance of only one pair of contrasting character is studied. That means one pair of contrasting color is studied. I want to study about the contrasting character of a pea plant. That means I study only one contrasting character. Which is that contrasting character? I only study about color. That is monohybrid. I want to study only about its color. I don't want to study about its structure. I don't want to study about its shape, position, etc. I study its only one character, that is a color character. Which color it is? Now color means again it will have alleles, two different alleles. But I am only studying about a single character. So a hybridization cross in which inheritance of only one pair of contrasting character is studied is called as a monohybrid cross. Next, dihybrid cross. A cross in which two pairs of contrasting characters is simultaneously studied. That means I want to study about a pea plant. Simultaneously, I want to study about two characters. Now, what are those two characters? One is color and one is shape. That means I want to study the green pea. Now, the pea plant has two colors. One is green, one is yellow. Along with that, I also study about its shape, round and wrinkled. That means what contrasting characters I study here? Can it be green round, green color, round in shape, or green color, wrinkled in shape, or I can say yellow color, round in shape, or yellow color, wrinkled in shape, right? I am studying about the color as well as the shape together. That means which of the allele is getting expressed here. In here, what do? I only study about one character. I only understand either green is getting expressed or yellow is getting expressed. That means either green is dominant, that means yellow is suppressed, recessive. Only one character. In dihybrid, what am I doing? I am studying about two characters simultaneously. How? Suppose if I have color of green, yellow and two different other things, round and wrinkled, I need to understand in case if it is green color P, it can be even round shape. If it is green color P, it can be also wrinkled, or yellow color P with a round shape, or yellow color P with a wrinkled shape. Simultaneously studying about two different characters is called as a dihybrid cross. Yes, now we move on to the next important things now. So the last three terms of now the chapter of this type of important terms: homozygous, heterozygous and progeny. Let's understand in just a simple terms. Homozygous. Now when I say homozygous, I have just written it as in a pure condition. That means, let me come to the color of the P now. So I have green color and yellow color. Or when we talk about what you say, allele of height, right? So when I talk about height, so this is, I will write one is dominant and another is recessive. That means I am studying about a plant which is pure tall and pure short. I am studying about pure tall plant and pure short plant. Here we don't use the word short. Instead of short, we use tall and dwarf plant. Right? You understand this later as we proceed it further. So we are studying about pure tall plant and pure dwarf plant. That is called as a homozygous. When I talk about heterozygous, it is the mixed condition. Now mixed condition means I have a combination of this and I have a combination of this again. That means I have a combination of a tall and a dwarf plant, tall and a dwarf plant. That means I am studying the combination of mixed characteristics. There what I study, what progeny do I get there? That is called as heterozygous. More and depth definition of homozygous and heterozygous you study when we go with the Mendel experiment in detail. The last one is progeny. As you all know, progeny is nothing but offspring. So when the characters will flow or transfer from a parent to offspring is termed as a progeny. So these are some important terms and definitions in chapter heredity, which we have to know them, use them, and we express or we understand the whole chapter, the concept based on these terms and definitions only. So in tomorrow's class we also see exactly what DNA means, how DNA looks like, where are the genes located, where is DNA located, all these things in our tomorrow's session. Along with that, we will study about Mendel's experiment when he checked with a monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross taking a pea plant. We will study about, we will read about his understanding about the progeny, monohybrid, dihybrid in terms of alleles, dominant and recessive in detail. So in today's class, if you have any doubt, you can call on the same day of the video set. Thank you.